We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. And on the ground they go with a running back. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, Winston. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Mayfield on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go play action here on first down. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, sub. Green, triple C.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gordon. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. A first down throw for Mayfield. Got an open man. It's Ratley. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Handoff comes to Chubb. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now let's go. 319.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Watch it now, Barney. Hot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hot!
A run for Nick Chubb. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready. Black 22. Let we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Steps away to his left. And incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
First down, Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Marshall. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Chubb will get the call, running left. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Watch it now, Barney.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They were looking for Marshall that time, and it's third down.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got it open, then he completes it to Callaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Leopard! Here we go now!
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Set! Blue landed!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Leopard! Over! Detroit! Gun!
To throw, Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Following the interception, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. They go play action. Winston. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Second down, Winston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Jameis to throw it. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right at the 35. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Tackle made by Chris Conte.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go.
Play fake. Mayfield. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vinny Curry able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Mayfield now. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey's 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator's relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's time to play. Sonic. Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Winston now from the 50. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage. The
last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They'd been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And again, it's Chubb. And some room to work. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Wide open receiver, complete. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here's Mayfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They run. Chubb. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's brought down after a good gain. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, Winston. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. A Buccaneer first down as Winston hooks up with Humphries.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Jameis now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Slot. Hey,
They'll throw again. Winston. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Give him 30 yards there. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. 1 back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
3rd and goal. Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Winston and the Bucs. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. With that mistake, they only need 1 yard.
And that could make all the difference, right? When you're talking about goal line play, where inches count, move it up 1 entire yard, that can make all the difference for the guys trying to get the points.
Winston now. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 29, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. Well, the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 50.
They'll run with Marshall. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Browns, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win.